I'm on a mission to go to $10,000 a month in my business. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how just one conversation changed my whole outlook on what I plan on doing for the next 6 to 12 months. But before we get into that, let's talk about what we're doing in these videos because I'm building my business. I'm going to shift myself over here in public daily with these videos. They help with my daily accountability. So what I like to do is kind of talk about things on the top of my mind or challenges that I'm having. And this is day 20 of me trying to reach $10,000 a month. And we're going to talk about how one conversation with someone in my community on school changed everything for me. What I did in the business today was basically just revamp my whole business idea, business strategy. And then at the end, we're going to be looking at my important things tracker where I keep track of all the things that matter to me the most. And then when stuff isn't moving over a long enough period, it's very frustrating. And I try to figure out other ways and different ways and better ways to make things work. So let's just dive right into it. My path to $10,000 a month, day 20, the one conversation that changed everything. Here's what happened. I made a post, whatever. I have a personal finance community. It's not that important, right? And I made a post basically like, hey, I have a paid thing, right? Uh, and it just was like, it was crickets. It was absolute crickets. So I reached out to my audience and I was like, you know, uh, had community for 10 months. I didn't say, I'm just sort of summarizing what I had. Learned a lot. Here's the way people win, essentially, is what I was sort of saying. And then I listed out like, a bunch of stuff, right? Like, okay, here's what you get in the free, but like, yeah, if you actually want to grow and get faster in speed, like, here's all the stuff, right? Whatever. So when it got crickets and no responses, no nothing, I reached out to 20 people in my community. So these are people that I think are, the highest engagers in the community, people who I think are my customers, and also like other people that have communities on school that maybe have different context than say like a customer would have. Okay, and I got so much feedback, but this one person was just brutally honest, which was amazing, and I guess deep down I knew that this was true, but he's like, dude, you're selling to poor people, um, and it's way harder to transform someone from 0 to 1 than 1 to 2, right? Because I'm like, the messaging in my thing, like I'm helping people, whatever, save money, pay off debt, get more confidence with your money, all this stuff. Like the language that I'm saying to get people inside is attracting people that are financially struggling, right? I would get on a call and I would see their like form or whatever that they make like $40,000 a year. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's like, how could I possibly sell them? How could I possibly transform? Like, if they don't have the mindset of like, how do I keep improving my income? Like, what can I possibly do? Right? There's only so much wiggle room to, you could play around with in your finances. So, this one conversation, people said similar things. People said my copy sucked, right? People said a lot of stuff, but like, it was this one conversation because he had experience in an industry, a different industry, where he was trying to. He's like, I was pretty confident in the product because it's been in the industry for almost like a decade and a half. I think he said like 15 years. He's like, but trying to sell someone that was basically sitting on the couch and not doing anything, it's really hard to get them off the couch and get them to do something. And then he's like, well, then I changed it and I went from 1 to 2, and I instantly just found a better fit. So I was like, okay. So I basically shifted everything around. The plan was in my free personal finance community. The plan was like, okay, have a free thing, free stuff, great, and then have a paid MRR tier. So the thing that I did was $64 a month just to start. Some people did say that it was like they would have a price objection. Basically, they didn't say those words because they're like the customers and they don't know maybe that terminology, but it's like, okay, so they either didn't get the value of the paid or they just are concerned about giving up $64, right? Because people in the community are so like, clutching their money against themselves. Like they don't want to give it up because they don't have any. So giving it up is scary to them. And then I also had a high ticket offer done for you. And this was $2,500 per year. Not 25,000, $2,500 per year. And I didn't even pitch this because I'm just like, I just want to get people rocking and rolling in here. But what I ended up doing, I had another community. It was actually for this YouTube channel. It was Entrepreneurs in Progress community. And now I shifted this to be the Entrepreneur Cash Flow Lab. So what's happening in here? Well, um, I'm just going to make up an acronym right now. Entrepreneur Cash Flow Lab. ECAFL, right? Amazing. So in here, I'm doing, custom dashboards. Here's how this started. Let me start back. So when I was helping people for free way back in the day when I started my community, there was this woman. She had a business and personal finances. I've actually had a lot of people in the community with businesses and personal. Well, obviously they have personal, but like they're like a business owner, and so the commingling was really tough for them. And I went through the same process that I went with everyone else with her, and she was just like not super motivated. It was just such a high friction point for her to do all the things. She would join some calls, but not do all the homework, and then she stopped answering me and joining the calls and whatever, and it kind of just fell off. And I was like, man, like she was the one person that was like, I thought I failed her, so it had me rethink everything. But then a couple months ago, she emailed me. It was like, hey, this is still a pain point for me. We have to figure this out, but I just don't want to do it. Is this something that you offer? And I was like, well, what you're talking about sounds like a done for you high ticket offer. So basically, it was like, I'm take transactions. So that could be from bank, credit card, etc. I take all that information and I make them a custom dashboard. Showing them things like cash flow, income statement, etc. Right, whatever they want to see. Because then once we have all the data, we could literally make it however they want to make it. And I've been in the finance industry for over a decade. Over a decade of experience, like doing all these things for very large companies, right? So if I can do these for large companies, I can surely do them for small and medium-sized business owners. So my new plan was to change this Entrepreneur in Progress community to the Entrepreneur Cash Flow Lab. And basically here, it's custom dashboards that untangle your finances and give entrepreneurs cash flow clarity. And basically I'm just targeting, like, if you think about it, like there are 170, how many thousand on schools? 174,000 people on school. So even if I just got like, I don't know, like 10% of that audience, that's pretty nuts, right? How many, that would be, well, obviously 17,000 people. It's like, that's not unreasonable over a long enough time horizon, 17,000 people. So my strategy first is I'm charging $9 right now. And the next person that joins, it's going up $10. And I'm probably gonna sit in the 200 to 250 per month range eventually, because it's actually quite a lot of effort. And then once this scales up a little bit and I'm like pulling my hair out trying to figure out what the hell's going on, I can then have AI help me create a software to automate. And that's how I scale it. Because it's like my time, I'm spending a lot of time with this lady trying to figure it out. Now, I kind of have the roadmap, the foundation after working with her. And again, I've been doing this for a while, but it is a little different, like looking at people's like business and personal, because at the end of the day, for most people, the business is where it starts, and then it trickles down to the personal, and it's hard to know how much money they need to live because they've never been tracking it before. So this is kind of the plan. And now to get to $10,000 a month, if I do this math really quickly, let's just assume, I mean, it's going to be stacking up over time. So let's just say the average person is in for $175 because I'm going to start at 9, then 19, then 20. I'm just going to go like that for every person that joins. So $10,000 divided by 175 equals 57 people. So 57 people paying me every month gets me to $10,000. It's way easier than my other offer where I needed to get 156 people with the $64 MRR tier. And at the end of the day, like this offer is a different audience than this. So what I'm going to do in my personal finance community, Dollar Discipline University, is um, I'm going to sort of finagle all of this. So I'll have the free stuff, I'll have the $64 stuff, and then maybe something else in between that, like a lighter lift thing, like $19 or something. That doesn't take up any of my time, but it's just a value add for them. Um, and then just kind of see what happens. They are kind of separate businesses, which I am concerned about, and I know that people kind of um, always say not to start different businesses, but I do think while the audiences are different, like there are people. It is kind of like uh, you know, there could be people that transcend from the Dollar Discipline University to this. That maybe they come in, they're like, hey, I don't know. They see this first, and they do not this. They see like Dollar Discipline University. They come in, they enjoy the free stuff, and it's like, yeah, actually, I don't want to do it. Kind of like that other lady, and then she would, they would join ECFL as we're calling it, Entrepreneur Cash Flow Lab. So that's kind of my take on what's been happening. And again, this one conversation was so critical for me. So I've been kind of hustling all weekend trying to like update all this stuff and change it and just yeah, I guess I'm gonna start posting a lot more on school, even though I am posting on school, because again, there's 174,000 people in schoolers, meaning like people that have a community, and it's just pretty cool that I could, getting to 10% of this is interesting. So if I do 17,400 times, we'll use 200 as the barrier. That's $3.4 million. That would be monthly. That sounds pretty crazy, right? But like, why couldn't that happen on a long enough time horizon? Of course, like this is not gonna happen tomorrow. But why can't I have 17,000 people paying me $200 a month? Build up a team, like, because I'm basically gonna be using, I don't know, a spreadsheet thing, and there's definitely people out there that are way better than me at spreadsheets. There's definitely people out there that are way better at financial analysis. You just have to be reasonable, right? I think a lot of people think that the thing that they do, they're like, a 1%. Not everyone can be a 1%. So I know that I can definitely help a lot of people, but at the end of the day, it's really kind of encouraging that if you look at a number like that, like $3.4 million, like why couldn't I make that work? I think I could. And that's just to say the $200 a month, like at that point, I would want to turn Dollar Discipline University into more of like a Dave Ramsey thing, where I would just like bringing everyone into here, and then possibly have different offers outside of all of that stuff. So just something that I've been thinking about. But for right now, this is definitely the path. So I'm going to keep making content on my regular main YouTube channel just for broad personal finance, helping people save money, pay off debt. And then on this channel, it's just going to still be my entrepreneur journey, you know, and yeah, so I guess, that's kind of the plan. And I'm hoping that if I build a strong enough audience of entrepreneurs on this channel, I could just sort of be like, soft pitch this, like, oh, hey, by the way, like I'm just helping other entrepreneurs kind of increase their cash flow, save all their money, or sorry, save all their time, save, hours per month. Because that's about how much time I spend is like hours per month with that lady. So I think that's a reasonable thing. So very cool. Let's go to the important things tracker, and let's start getting upset with how little I've been growing. How much money did I make in the business today? $0. What about my YouTube channels? So Entrepreneur in Progress, I have 6 subscribers, and my main YouTube channel, I have 787. So no growth there since yesterday for either of those. My Entrepreneur in Progress, sorry, Entrepreneur Cash Flow, it literally just changed 8 hours ago, so I might still call the community that, has 4 members. And my personal finance community has 243. So 243. This is 4, and I'm going to change this from EIP, so Entrepreneur in Progress, to Entrepreneur Cash Flow Lab. Great. And that's it. So very cool. I'm doing these videos daily, guys. So if you feel aligned with like the Entrepreneur in Progress sort of motto, and if you're trying to build something, I don't know how to grow your business, right? But I just want to network with other entrepreneurs. So get in the comments. Let's talk about our daily accountabilities. Let's talk about what's working for you, what's not working for you. And hopefully we can all just win at the end of the day by helping each other. So for that, I will see you tomorrow.